You're watching EAC News. Thanks for joining us. Let's have a look at today's finance. The CSX index is currently at 504.11 points, down 19.42 points or 3.71%. The daily exchange rate is 4,050 Khmer Real to the USD. And now a look at what else is happening in finance around the world.
Cambodia's export to RCEP members countries increased by 11% in the first quarter release date May the 4th of 2022. Cambodia's export to member countries of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership totaled US $1.956 million in the first 3 months of this year, up 11% over the same period last year, according to data from the Ministry of Commerce. For the January-March period, Cambodia's top 4 export designations were Vietnam, China, Thailand and Japan, the data shows. Adding the kingdom shipped US $759 million worth of products to Vietnam, $322 million to China, $318 million to Thailand, and $306 million to Japan. The two-way trade between Cambodia and RCEP member countries was amounted to $8.062 million, inching down 2% over the same period last year, read the data. Regionally, Cambodia exported $1.172 million worth of goods to ASEAN member states, a year-to-year increase of 12%. Asian shares firm as Fed tempers aggressive rate hike bets. Asian shares tracked Wall Street gains on Thursday after the US Central Bank raised interest rates by 50 basis points, but sounded less hawkish tone. Some had feared lifting investment sentiment and sending the dollar lower. Crude prices, meanwhile, shot up as the European Union spelled out some of the details of its plan to ban the use of Russian oil, heightening concerns about supply. MSCI's broadcast index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan rose 0.93%, although trading was thin with Japanese and Korean markets closed for public holidays. Asian gains followed as the US rally overnight, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 2.81%, and the SP 500 gained 2.99%, and the Nasdaq advanced 9.19%. Hong Kong's benchmark Hang Seng rose 0.77% in early trading, with the tech sector index 1.43%. This week, Hong Kong stocks have edged lower, while the offshore Chinese yuan has been volatile through the stronger than it was last week. Australia's SP ASX 200 also performed strongly with a 0.61% increase. However, China's benchmark CSI 300 opened 0.16% lower than mainland markets resumed trade after a 3-day holiday. Wall Street closes with the sharp gains after Fed's interest rate hike. US stocks ended sharply after Wednesday after the Federal Reserve delivered a widely expected interest rate hike, and the SP 500 recorded its biggest one-day percentage gain in nearly 2 years. Stocks initially seesawed after announcement, then the index has strengthened. The SP 500 advance of almost 3% was the strongest since May 18, 2020. The US Central Bank set a target of federal funds rate of the rate between 0.75% and 1% in an anonymous decision, with further rises in borrowing costs of perhaps similar magnitude likely to follow. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 932.27 points, or 2.81%, to 34,061.06. The SP 500 gained 124.69 points, or 2.99%, to 4,300.17, and the Nasdaq Composite added 401.10 points, or 3.19%, to 12,964.86. All of 11 major SP sectors rose, with energy leading with the gains. That's the latest news on finance. Tune in tomorrow for more.